We're Christy and Chris Sherman, and we've been actually at Christ Fellowship for over 10 years. We have 4 children, 18, 16, 12, and 6. And we got introduced to Reengage.
Yeah, through a friend, and actually a gentleman that was in our life group, Christian and Pam Jensen, introduced us. They said, hey, you know, if your marriage is at like a 10 and you just wanted to get better, great, you can come check it out. Or if it's at like a 1 or a 2 and you're really struggling, come check it out. And I realized that, you know, it would be beneficial for us to kind of dive into each other and dive into our marriage. So my dad and stepmom lived about an hour away from me, and I didn't really have that great of a relationship with them, but my dad kept telling me, hey, you got to come down and meet this girl. And at the time I was like, okay, yeah, you know, sounds good, whatever. And I just kind of blew it off, and I did that 3 or 4 times. And finally, I came down one day, and they're like, hey, you got to meet this girl, Christy. We're going to invite her over. And
so I had met his dad and his stepmom and known them for about 1.5 years. And they just kept saying, you got to meet my son, you got to meet my son. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so eventually he finally came because they kept saying, he's coming. And then he wouldn't show up. He's coming, he wouldn't show up. Finally he came, and we were going to a business convention. And my mom was there, his stepmom was there. We were at a meeting, and there was a break. And during the bathroom break, we came back, and they had moved seats so that he and I were sitting next to each other. And then after the meeting, there was dinner and a DJ. And so we had dinner, and we dancing, and we've been together ever since. So our parents kind of set us up.
This is true.
Yeah, so before we were invited to Reengage, Chris was traveling all the time. We have 4 kids, as I said, so I was running kids around, schoolwork, just busy, working from home, and life was busy. It was very busy. Kids were in lots of activities. He was in activities, and so there wasn't a whole lot of time for just us.
You know, we came from the mentality of divide and conquer, and that over the years just really affected our relationship. You know, because of my travel schedule and the things that were going on with the kids, she and I often were on different communication wavelengths.
Yeah, I mean, it was when he came home from work or from out of town, it'd be like, where does he fit in? Like, I was mom and dad and did it all, and then he would come home and it's like, he was tired, but I wanted him to help and jump in, but he didn't know where to help because he's only home for a few days and leaving again. So it was definitely an issue with communication.
We both had different expectations. Like she just said, you know, she expected me to jump in. I expected that, hey, I was, you know, my time working was, you know, probably more important than our time together as a family. And so my expectations were off a lot. Starting in Reengage, didn't really know what to expect, but we're certainly willing and had a willingness to see some improvements in our marriage. We both went in and got into an open group right away and started talking through, you know, some of the issues.
Yeah, so I think Reengage for us allowed us to definitely work through some things that we had buried, because with our busy schedules, I was one of those that really just didn't want to fight when he was home, because he's gone all week, so why fight when he's home? Let's enjoy the time. So a lot was swept under the rug and not discussed, so I think it allows us to have that time to really just kind of peel back some layers and talk about things that we just never really dealt with.
Yeah, and I'm going to steal something from one of my favorite movies. You guys may be familiar with Shrek, where he says, ogres are like onions, right? In my opinion, marriages are like onions, you know, especially we've been together now for 19 years, and it's taken a lot to peel back some of the layers, some of the hurts and hang-ups that we've had in the past. And you know, without the guidance of the program and God, I don't think we would be here today. I mean, It's really opened up my eyes.
So we feel that re-engage is definitely something that everybody can do, and it should be something that you can continue to do forever, because everybody's in different stages in their marriage. Sometimes you're struggling with finances, kids, travel. So for us, we feel re-engage is ongoing and something that we plan to do forever.
Forever.
Forever.